Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season. Here's a few forwards I look to buy and trade for. This week, the first guy, Paul George, of the Los Angeles Clippers. So Paul George, we know he's been banged up on and off this season here with a hamstring injury. And when he plays, we know he's a solid player for fantasy basketball. 23.4 points a game, 6 rebounds, 5.1 assists, 1.5 steals, 3 threes a game, and 45% from the field. So Paul George, he could score with the best of them, especially when he gets on a hot streak. But this whole Clipper team here banged up over the last couple weeks here. We know Leonard's been in and out of the lineup all season. John Wall, you really can't count on him. He's banged up as well. And this guy in Paul George as well, the hamstring injury's definitely done him in, where he's played a few games and then he's re-aggravated it. January 17th versus Philly, 13 points, 8 boards, 4 assists, a steal, a 3, 45% from the field. And then January 18th at Utah, he had to sit out in that one because of the hamstring injury. So hopefully it's only a day-to-day thing here with Paul George. But right now, if it's not, I think I would go out there and try to make a decent offer for him because he's missed the majority of January with the injury as George, and then re-aggravating it in the 17th ball game versus Philly. So right now, I would go out there and try to make a deal for George. Obviously, I'm not going to give up value like you were a few weeks ago here when George got off to the monster start. But right now, it's a buy low candidate, even though with the injury concern, this would be a time to go out there and get him. Next guy is Brandon Ingram of New Orleans Pelicans. Ingram, he's been out a while now with the toe injury here, and we haven't seen him at all in the new year. Brandon Ingram sitting out the whole month of January and the back end of December. So on the season, 20.8 points a game, 5.1 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.9 threes, and 47% from the field. So we know Ingram, he's a solid player. We know he's a good scorer of the basketball. And to have Zion Williamson and obviously Ingram out of the lineup, 2 big losses for this New Orleans Pelican team. So right here, Brandon Ingram, he's missed a lot of time. And fantasy owners are definitely frustrated with him being out this long. So right now, if I'm looking to make a deal for Ingram, I think you could get him on a little bit of a discount. Well, like I mentioned, the owners being frustrated, this toe injury nagging and lingering. And right now, I think Ingram could come back and put up those numbers once again. So right now, while he's been idle over the last month of the season pretty much as Ingram, this is a perfect time to go get him, because if he comes out and he plays great basketball, you're not going to get him on a little bit of discount. And it's a perfect time. And the third and final forward I look to buy and trade for this week here is Josh Hart of the Portland Trailblazers. So Josh Hart, we know he's a good rebounder at the position. We know he can score the basketball when he catches fire. But this season here, the scoring's definitely gone down for him. 9.5 points a game, but a great 8.3 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 1.1 steals, and 50% from the field. So right now, if you're looking for a few categories here, a 5 or 6 category type of guy, Josh Hart definitely could bring that to fantasy owners. I know his scoring's down this season, and I know the 3-ball is down as well. Last year, 1.5 threes a game. This season, only 0.7, but the field goal percentage still solid at 50%. And right now, we know Dame Lillard's the number 1 man over there, and Anthony Simons and Jusuf Nurkic is the top guns over there with Jeremiah Grant in Portland. So right now, Hart's taking a little bit of a backseat, but he's still a guy that's valuable in my opinion. A top 100 player in fantasy basketball, and a guy for fantasy owners to go out there and get. And like I said, you don't got to give up a boatload to get him. So the last few games here for Hart, January 14th versus Dallas, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 3, 62% from the field. January 15th versus Dallas, once again 8 points, 12 boards, a rebound, 2 blocks, a 3, 27% from the field. Then January 17th at the Nuggets, 4 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 40% from the field. So right now the scoring is down. Field goal percentage has been down over the last few games here. But he's definitely a guy who would go out there and try to buy this week. So that's a few pros I look to buy and trade for here in Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season.